Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. My name is Damiano Cambridge and today we're going to be talking about starting afresh. Over the past few months, I've constantly been getting this feeling that I need to stop, sit down and rethink my life. Recently, it's become more and more obvious to me that my life has pretty much taken an autonomous turn where I would just get up, go to work, come home, have dinner, go to sleep, and do it all again the next day. Now, while that's good for some people, for me, it gets me into a point where I feel trapped to the point I can't breathe. And when that happens, this usually leads me to buying expensive or unnecessary things such as technology, food, clothes, vehicles, just to name a few. Now, while in the short term this is absolutely brilliant and we will love getting new things, in the long term this has led to financial issues, arguments within relationships, depression, anxiety, and a whole slew of other things. So overall, this autonomous lifestyle I've been living has negatively impacted multiple areas in my life: financial, physical, mental, diet, relationship, sleep, all but to name a few. So the point of this video is to acknowledge and to rectify those areas in my life that need the change. And recording this video, putting it out into the world to you guys, is me taking accountability for that. So if you're in that same situation and you feel like your life needs a change and you just don't really know how to get going, this is the video for you. So stick around till the end. We've got some key things here that I think in my life need changing. Yours might need something different. You might need the same. If you want to join this journey with me, I welcome you all. And if you're excited for the video, give that like button the old Tyson Fury one bang. Subscribe if you're new around here. We'll be doing videos like this a lot more often. Trying to put a lot more effort into making YouTube videos. It's a passion I have that just sort of seems to run away with me a lot of the time. So I'm trying to sort of put everything else aside and make a lot more YouTube content. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So what are you looking to change, I hear you ask? And that's a brilliant question. The main changes I feel that need changing in my life are as follow. Phone consumption, for number one, or more so social media. I spend any free time I have, spare seconds, when I go to the toilet, when I've got breaks between work, when I'm in my bedroom, when I've just shut off for the evening, when I wake up first thing in the morning, straight on Instagram, scroll. And do you know what? 9 times out of 10, I'm not even looking at anything. I'm just scrolling it. And I found that a lot of my screen time on my iPhone was spent looking at Instagram, Reels, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts. And not any of it was worth my time. I was just blindly doom scrolling, as they call it. I have already started the change in that one. So I watched a video a few weeks back from a guy called Tim Cower. I'll link his video down in the description if you guys are interested, where he set his phone up to work for him in a more productive way and a less sort of consumption way, if you like. So he removed all social media apps and anything that would cost him to be on his phone longer than he needed to be from his home screen. It was still there on his phone, but he'd have to make an effort to search for the apps in order to use them. And then he just set up individual focus modes and screens that would have whatever he needed on those individual ones, which I thought was a brilliant one. I think it's probably the best setup for productivity that I've seen. As I said, I'll link it down below, and if you're interested, I'll put a screenshot of what my phone screen used to look like before watching that video, if I have any. Hey, editor me here. Turns out I don't have any screenshots of what my phone used to look like, but I do have screenshots of what my phone looks like now. So here you go. And I have started that already. I started that the day I saw that video, so I think I'm like a couple of weeks in, and ultimately my screen time has gone from nearly 4 hours a day to, which might not sound a lot to you guys, but to me that's quite a lot, to 1.5 hours. I'll put the metrics up and you guys can see for yourself. So that's one key area that I think needs to change, and I've already started making that change, which I'm quite happy with myself. I don't feel like I miss Instagram. The difference between what Tim did in that video to me is I completely removed social media. I removed Instagram, I removed TikTok, I removed anything else. I didn't remove YouTube for the purpose of trying to make this channel worthwhile. I still need the app to see all the metrics and the analytics and stuff. So I kept that, I just hid it, so I have to make an effort to go and see that if I want to see that, which you'll see on the screenshot. And so far it's worked. I feel like it's worked for me. I don't spend half as much time on my phone. I'm a bit more present for my kids. I'm doing more things. I've started to do more productive things and just use it in a more productive way than I ever have done. So that is the first change that I think I need to implement in my life. The second change that needs implementing in my life is definitely diet. A few years ago, I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism, and if you want to know any more about that, let me know in the comments and we'll make a video about it. So basically, following that diagnosis, I have spent the last nearly 4 years, it's been nearly 4 years now, researching the best ways to help with the symptoms that I have, which are mainly brain fog, tiredness, and gaining weight. And a lot of the research that I have found during looking and reading and everything else has said that removing things like dairy and gluten and just inflammation foods in general and sticking to a more whole foods diet largely improves the symptoms of hypothyroidism. And for a long time, I did do that. For a long time, I was gluten-free for as long as I can remember. The dairy's not really an issue. I don't really have dairy anyway. I don't tend to have cow's milk when I have coffee or tea. I don't really have a lot of yogurts or cheese ever. If I was to ever have a problem with dairy, it'd be chocolate, because I can't go without chocolate. I've always said that if I ever became diabetic and it was a danger to my life, I'd probably die, because I cannot stop eating chocolate. Anyway, we digress. So removing all those foods is supposed to be good for somebody who has hypothyroidism. And like I said a minute ago, I did stick to that diet for the longest time. However, being in an autonomous lifestyle, it kind of never allowed for me to have the time to make those meals. But being in this autonomous cycle that I've been in, which is mainly due to my job, it hasn't allowed for me to do those recipes and stick to it and all that sort of stuff. So what I've done is ended up going to McDonald's, eating all the gluten, eating all the chicken nuggets, all the burgers, all the cakes, all the breads, not just in McDonald's obviously, but when you're on the road and you're working, things like going to a Burger King or a McDonald's, so easy, so quick, at your fingertips, it's there, it's done. And I have noticed over the past eight months that I have definitely become very slow and sluggish, and it needs to stop. That is another thing I need to change in my life. I am now, I think, 10 days gluten-free today. I'm treating it like alcohol-free. It's that serious. I'm trying to make it as if it's something I have to either live or die by. And it's going good, it's going well. I'm quite fortunate that I have somebody in my life that pushes me to not fall off of that wagon. So that is definitely something I have to change. I have started to change, but I am also aware that it takes about 3 to 6 months for gluten to completely be gone from your system. So we'll probably make another video in about 3 months maybe and see if there's any changes, if I feel any different. Number 3 is the amount of exercise a day that I need to get. We all know largely that 30 minutes a day is the optimal time that the GPs and that tell you to get. I haven't been doing that. I think I've been passing off the fact that what I do as a job is exercise, but actually it's not, because I have been piling weight on and still doing the exercise during my work day that I thought I was doing, which never got to the point of losing weight or feeling any better. I just sort of just declined really. Before I started the job I'm doing now, I was sitting very nicely at 75 kilograms. I felt incredible, gluten-free, dairy-free. I felt insane, the best I've probably felt in my life. And then 8 months down the line, put about 10 kilograms on. I'm eating gluten again, and I feel disgusting. So exercise, at least 30 minutes a day, every day, to try and get out of this rut, try and drop that weight again and feel better. I'm 3 days in. I've all these things that need to change, that I tell you guys that need to change. I've already sort of implemented those changes in areas in my life, but I'm early in it. So I'm telling you guys because it's the acknowledgement, it needs to happen. If I film it, I'll probably stick to it. So I'm 3 days in. I'm working on the Apple Fitness Plus app because it's just so readily available anywhere, on the iPad, on your MacBook, on your iPhone, on your Apple TV. I can get it anywhere I am. So there's no excuses for me not to be able to exercise. Wherever I am, I can do it. So that's the exercise portion that needs to change in my life. Next, we have impulsive spending. Now this is probably the largest one on my list, because when I've been in this autonomous cycle and I get down and I feel trapped and I can't breathe, generally what I do is buy something very expensive in order to uplift my mood. As amazing and great as that is in the short term, like we said earlier, the long term, it is definitely not something that you should be doing on a whim just because you're feeling depressed or you're feeling down, tired, and just fed up. You shouldn't be doing that. I've done it my entire life, probably as a form of comfort, where I didn't have a lot when I was growing up. So maybe I feel like it's something I'm missing out on. I need to rectify that with excessive spending or impulsive spending or whatever. But that definitely is probably number one that needs to change in my whole entire life. It leads to many issues down the line. Although it might feel good at one point, it very quickly plummets. So there's 3 things I need to do in order to rectify this impulsive spending. And the first one is identify whether I need it or whether I just want it. My issue is with the spending. I have no problem spending a large amount of money on, say, a new iPhone every time it comes out. I don't need a new iPhone, but I want it. And I have no problem spending that money on that. But on the flip side, when I need something, like a couple of pair of jeans for work or whatever, which are largely less money than an iPhone, I find it so hard to part with £30-40 worth of jeans opposed to £1,000 worth of phone that I don't need. So I really need to take charge and make executive decisions in what I need opposed to what I want. That's the first one. The second one is I need to create a budget. And within this creating a budget, I need to find something I want. Like right now, I really would like a new iPad. Does it fit in my budget? If it does fit in my budget, maybe I should give myself a cooling off period, as you like. You know, like when you get a new phone contract, they give you 30 days or 14 days or something like that to think about whether you want the contract or if it's not right for you. So what I should do is see the product I want, an iPad in this case. I don't even want an iPad Pro, I just want an iPad. So what's that, 400 quid, 400 pounds. Put that in my basket and just sit with it. Mull it over. Do I need it? Do I want it? What do I want it for? Is it going to benefit my life? Is it going to benefit my work? Is it worth taking that amount of money out of my budget, or should I just not do it? And I think 30 days is a good amount of time to mull that decision over, because a lot of the time after 30 days, you'll either forget about that situation or it will be stuck right in your head that you have no choice but to act on it. So I think that's number 2. Create a budget and use the cooling off period and then make your decision. Number 3, and I think this is probably the biggest one out of all 3 of these tips, is I need to practice delayed gratification. I say this a lot to my friends, and it's funny because it's so easy for somebody to give advice to somebody but not take that advice. And in my case, I need to use that advice. Generally what happens is, and I need to be mindful of this, is I will buy something, I'll get so excited getting the email, your order has been confirmed, your order has been dispatched, your order will be due for delivery at da. And that'll fill me with excitement, up until the point where I open the box, I set the thing up, or whatever it is, I put the clothes on, or I eat the food or whatever, and then as soon as that happens, the second that I've, say, set up this iPad, the excitement's gone. And then I'm always looking for the new thing after that. So I think what I need to do is sort of think ahead of myself, realize that that gratification I feel like I'm going to get, it's only going to last for a couple of minutes and then it'll be gone again. Unless that thing is definitely something I need, will help with my work, my business, my life, anything, that gratification is not necessary at that one time. All of those 3 tips sort of mold into each other. So I think that's why I chose those 3 tips to work, because I think they sort of work very well with each other. The 5th thing that I need to change in my life is sleep. In recent years of my hypothyroid diagnosis, I've noticed a huge knock to my sleep. I used to be able to go sleep, dream so vividly, it was so deep and vibrant and everything, that I would have conversations with myself as me and the other person in my dream out loud whilst sleeping. I know this because of my brothers I've used to share a room with, and that doesn't happen no more. I don't even dream no more, because a lot of the time I spend tossing and turning all night. I can't get comfortable, I can't sleep, and a lot of that is because of hypothyroidism. Now, with lack of sleep obviously comes lack of motivation, lack of focus, lack of performance. You get sort of grouchy, arguments tend to stem from it. And a lot of these things I've mentioned in this video probably roll into one, and I think that's why I've chosen all these 5 things, because they all, with the right care and the right change, will change how I am in my life and avoid unnecessary arguments and unnecessary issues within my family and my relationships with people. So sleep, I don't I put this one at the end because largely I don't know how I'm going to change it. Especially when you share a bedroom with somebody else, it's not always down to you how you want things to change. It has to be a joint thing. You have to both be in it together. You have to both want that change for yourselves together. I can't go to bed at 9 o'clock if she wants to go to bed at 10 o'clock, especially when she is like a bull in a china shop, coming up to bed. And vice versa. She can't go to bed at 9 if I want to go to bed at 10, because we wake each other up. So you have to be there for each other. You have to have each other's backs for this change of sleep to happen, to be able to be a thing. So other sort of key things I've tried and I'm gonna try in the future is I got a sleep mask with like a 3D one that proper covers your eyes so you can't see nothing out of it. So that's the darkness covered. They've got speakers in, so that's white noise covered. So if she's watching a TV show or something, I can't hear nothing, I can't see nothing. So that helps me out. I started taking sleeping pills. I don't know if they're helping. I think they kind of make me feel worse when I wake up than when I did before. I tried to stick to a sleep routine. I tried to stick to go to bed at 9 o'clock, wake up at 7 o'clock ready for work. But all these things so far seem to not have done as much as I wanted them to do or anticipated them to do. So I'm always in the market for something new to change, whether it's taking magnesium, I don't know, whether it's keeping the room cool, buying like a cool one of those things I seen on an MKBHD ad, like a cool bed topper or something, like mattress topper, something. I don't know yet. That's why this is what's at the end, because I feel like this is a sort of a rant and a rave situation. I haven't got a plan for this one yet. I've tried to put things in motion. So far they haven't given me what I wanted them to give me, but we're working, we're there, we're trying to get that done. So that is the final one, sleep. So there you have it, 5 things that I feel have negatively impacted my life over the past few months, years, that I feel need to change. My journey starts today. If you're excited to follow this journey, if you're excited to be a part of it, maybe you're on your own journey, maybe you want to start this journey with me right now. Like I said earlier, if you like this video, go ahead and give that like button the pop, pop, bang! And if you're new around here, subscribe. It's been a pleasure to make this video for you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!